Hi Aries, welcome to your August 2020 Astrology 33 love reading. Thanks to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, just check out the description video for more details there. As far as what's in front of us, this is why I call it a bridge and a gap spread, and the way it works is the cards on the left side represent your energy toward the connection with your main love interest. Cards on the right side represent their energy toward the connection. And these are the past energies, present energies, future energies. Once we get through all those, we'll actually pull some oracle cards with some additional insight. That's where bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Keep in mind this is a general reading too, so as I'm going through the cards, if it sounds more like the cards on the left represent their energy and the cards on the right represent your energy, then definitely trust that. But I will be referring to the cards on the left as yours. Alright, so with that out of the way, past energy on your side, we have Justice. So this is actually the major arcana card for Libra, which is your opposite sign. So for some of you, this could just be saying that this was you actually seeing a lot of potential for this relationship, just beyond your casual relationship. I feel like you saw this as having the potential to be a long-term committed relationship. For some of you, there could have been some physical distance between the two of you as well, and you could have just been holding space for them until you guys actually physically be together. Could have been due to all these crazy delays and everything that's been going on this year. That's what I see there in the past. Past energy on their side, we have Queen of Wands, which is actually Aries energy. So for some of you, this could definitely represent your energy on the right side here. And we have the Hierophant. So for the majority of you, I feel like what this is really saying is that this person might have been a bit aggressive towards you as far as trying to lock it down as a serious relationship. The reason I say that is, even though I do say the Queen of Wands represents your energy, I just feel like you combine that energy with the Hierophant. That's what it speaks to me, which is to say this person might have been very upfront with you, let you know that they were in it for something serious, and actually, applied a little bit of pressure there. Not necessarily in an uncomfortable way, but just in a way that maybe moving fast for your liking. That's one way I could see it, where maybe you were taking things a little bit more slow on your end. So in a way, it sounds like opposite energy. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if some of you actually will find your energy resonates more on the right. But that's what I'm seeing there. Now, for a smaller group of you, it can point to a situation where maybe this person doesn't necessarily believe in traditional relationships, so they might be a bit more into polygamy, for example, and maybe that's what they were trying to get you to be open to as well, whereas you might have been interested in a more traditional type of relationship. So that's the way that the energies can be playing out for some of you. The present energy on your side, we have Awakening. So this is actually the equivalent of the Sun card in traditional tarot. So for some of you, this can just be saying that, maybe your feelings for this person is starting to grow, and maybe possibly you guys are getting some signs as far as whether or not you should pursue something with them and actually become, a long-term couple. Like I said, it can be for some of you what I was feeling as well, which is some of you might actually be in a situation where maybe they don't necessarily believe in traditional commitment, so maybe this is saying some of you are opening up to that idea as well now. And for others of you, this can just be saying general energy. You guys might have felt a bit out of sorts lately, which wouldn't surprise me. There's been some crazy transits going on that have involved your sign. So this could just be saying that you guys might be getting back to yourselves at this point as well. Present energy on their side, a lot of cards came up. We have the Tower, the King of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Knight of Chalices. So a lot going on here. Really what comes to mind first is I feel like this person might have had a bit of an outburst, or if they haven't yet, they will soon. I do have to say I'm recording this on the 25th, and there's going to be a square between Mercury and Cancer and Mars in your sign, so it might be even around that energy. Or another potential hotspot would be around the time of the full moon that we have early in August, because that's going to be square Uranus, so there's some intense energy there as well. But that's really the first thing that comes to mind with this. Some of them might have even accused you, for example. Maybe they accused you of being with someone else. And that would definitely, I could see where that would fit in for some of you, where, like I said, maybe you guys have been a bit more withdrawn lately. So for those of you who fit into that category, that might be the case. If you withdrew for whatever reason, they might have taken that as you losing interest in them, and because of that, they might overreact. The reason I see it as overreacting on their part as opposed to an actual third party dynamic here is because of that King of Wands energy. I view that as like, a bit of prideful energy, maybe a little ego in the mix. That Nine of Pentacles representing, wanting to cut ties with you, but then with that Knight of Chalices, to me, that represents them coming back fairly quickly to try to mend things. So that's really what I'm seeing there. Like I said, could be either when we have that Mercury square Mars in your sign energy around the 27th of July, or this could point to that full moon energy around, I think, around the 4th of August, give or take a day. So that's what I'm seeing there. And I do have to say, for a very small percentage of you, if this person actually is the one that's doing something deceptive behind your back, the awakening energy there would be pointing to you guys would probably get some kind of insight or some kind of sign that that's what's taking place. So if that's the case, like I said, I feel like it's a very small percentage of you. You'll probably get some kind of an indicator that that's what's happening. So be on the lookout for that. But especially the main reason why I feel like that's not going to be the case for the vast majority of you, the future energy we have, love, which is the equivalent of the Lover's card. So to me, obviously, this is self-explanatory, which is to say, it looks like you guys will actually end up being together in the future position. Could just involve a lot of communication between the two of you as well. Venus actually will finally be moving out of shadow, and then it's actually going to be in Gemini for about a week in August, and then it's finally going to move on into Cancer. So that could just represent that any Venus retrograde energy that might have caused delays between the two of you, that could finally be clearing up for you guys. And then I feel like there's going to be a lot of communication, and you guys actually do end up coming together in a positive way. The future energy on their side, we have the Six of Swords and Justice. So again, I feel like this is pretty much that same energy that I was saying there in the present, which is to say, I feel like this person's going to really step in it in some way. They're going to say something dumb. You guys are going to get into an argument of some kind. And then what I see here with that Six of Swords and Justice is saying that, if we think of the Six of Swords energy, it's usually moving to calmer waters, right? So I feel like this is them being a bit introspective, realizing that they might have, made a fool of themselves, and then coming back in to fix the situation. And like I said, as far as the timeline goes, I feel for the majority of you that argument's probably going to take place around that Mars square Mercury transit, and then them coming back around could be early in the month for some of you, because this is also the same degrees where that full moon in Aquarius is going to take place. So definitely could be a connection there. But for others of you where this blow up actually doesn't take place until around the Aquarius full moon, could just be saying that as we get toward the end of Leo season, they'll actually come back around and actually restore balance in the connection. And I mean, for the most part, it looks like you would be pretty open to it. So I don't, even though the tower is there, I don't feel like it's going to cause major damage. I feel like this is more speaking to the sudden energy of it, which is like it could be an argument that comes out of nowhere. And I feel like they'll immediately realize they made a fool of themselves and end up coming back around. So I don't think it's going to be like a long, drawn-out thing between the two of you. But we'll see. You never know. Maybe the Oracle cards will say otherwise. But bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Princess of Cups. So this is actually just general cup energy. It's not pointing to a specific cup sign, but with that moon there, that could point to the energy leading up to the new moon that you guys are going to have this month in Leo. So I think that's around the middle of the month, between the middle of the month and toward the very end of Leo season is when we're going to have that new moon. So that could be the timing there, as far as especially if that blow up that I see does happen very early for you guys. That could end up being when they actually come back around and make that offer to you, leaning up to the new moon, and then that would make sense too, as far as the new moon in your fifth house could definitely point to a connection to love and romance. So this is probably going to represent them coming back around. Those birds we see there could represent them reaching out to you, sending you a message, trying to get things back on track. And bottom of the deck on their side, we have the High Priestess. So, this usually represents that introspective energy. So again, like I said, for those of you where if you're dealing with this person and they have a bit of a blow up, it could be a Pisces you're dealing with as well. This could just represent them withdrawing a little bit and then really, reflecting on the fact that they might have really put their foot in their mouths. And then with underneath that, we see the Two of Swords. So to me, that indicates that, we could see why they might be a bit withdrawn right after that argument, because they might feel like, oh, okay, if I go back to Aries, they're going to reject me, right? And then we even see the beneath that, I'm not going to go through the rest of the deck, but we have Five of Chalices there too. So we see that disappointment and them trying to make amends. So yeah, that's what I see for the vast majority of you. Some kind of argument's going to take place. And then we have the Lovers there too, Nine of Cups under that. So looks like things will get back on track with you guys. So, I mean, some of you might even be able to be a bit proactive around it and realize that these are the energies that are at play. And if you feel like something's coming on, maybe you might even be able to avoid it with that awakening energy. But for those of you who can't, like I said, I think the Tower moment there is just pointing to the fact that it's going to be an argument that comes out of nowhere, as opposed to it leading to this huge breakup between the two of you. All right, so let's see what the actual Oracle cards have to say. First, I'll see if we get anything from the Mystic Moon Oracle deck here. I did pre-shuffle the deck, and what I'm going to be looking for here is just some jumpers. First, I'll be looking for unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if I shuffle for a while and nothing comes up, I'll just move on to the next Oracle deck, since it's just a general read, but we'll see if we get anything. Okay, got one there. And then we'll see if we have any unspoken messages from them to you. Almost have one there. Okay, nothing coming up yet, but I'll give it a few more shuffles. Alright, nothing coming up there. Fitting with the High Priestess energy at the bottom of the deck. Not too surprising there, but the card that we have on your side is I'm reminded of you constantly. So that definitely fits the overall theme that I'm feeling here. Like I said, with the Justice card in the past, it looks like you guys definitely see this as a potential long-term connection. And then with the Love card at the future position, looks like this is definitely a situation that you guys do see long-term potential in, even if there is what appears to be a blow-up that comes up for you guys. So I feel like for the majority of you, you will actually accept the person's apology. All right, and next we'll see if we get anything from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck here. Same situation, I did pre-shuffle this deck, and I'm just looking for one card here, and then we'll wrap up. Alright, nothing coming up yet. I'll give it a few more shuffles. Worst case, nothing's coming up here. I will pull a random card, so we'll see. Just prefer the jumpers with the Oracle cards, but we'll see. All right, nothing's coming up, so let me put the deck down for a second. All right, and we'll just pull a card. All right, we'll go this one here. All right, we have regeneration. There's the artwork and number 46. So if nothing else, that to me is another indicator before we even read the messages here that yes, there might be some kind of blow up, but it looks like you guys will get back on track. But we'll see what the actual book says for that card. Okay, it says rebirthed, second chances, new opportunities. The Oracle's message. Second chances are available to you now. Whatever opportunities you thought were dead are now revived in a more authentic, stronger form. Whatever you may have perceived as a failure or loss is now being replaced by something better and more powerful growing in its place. This rebirth is assured. Step into your new life. Destiny is being fulfilled in wondrous ways. So, I mean, I will say, while no one wants to go through a tower moment, it could be one of those things where, you know, it might require this person to actually step in it in that regard to really realize, wow, okay, I was a bit out of line there, you know, and then you guys might actually end up growing from it. So hopefully that resonated with you. And then the relationship message says the world is based on connections and relationships. No matter what losses occurred in the past or even now, death and endings are only illusions. There is life after death, love after loss, and in this moment you are radiating the regenerative life force energy that makes you irresistible to love in all forms. Now is the time when you will see evidence of this new emergence. Can you feel it? Love is rising up to greet you. So definitely a pretty positive message there too. And like I was saying with that awakening energy, maybe this could even just be pointing to having Mars in your sign. You know, maybe you guys are feeling a bit withdrawn, maybe not as outgoing in the past, and maybe now you feel like you're coming back into your own energy. There's definitely some tough energies going on with Mars in your sign too, making some rough transits, but that's what I see there. So yeah, like I said, overall, it looks like there might be some kind of a argument. I don't necessarily see it being a long-term break between the two of you, especially with this card coming up here. But hopefully that resonated with you guys, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.